Welcome back in, Green Bay Packer fans. It's another post-game show here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. I am Dan Connick. With me, as almost always, my buddy Amar Desai. Buddy, a Packer win at home. When the hell's the last time we got to say that?
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. And us having these jerseys on, the 50 Classics, I felt like, man, this might be it. But just seeing that Chargers team, the way they are, the way they're built, they've never really played up to their potential. I feel like we're kind of in that same boat too. But, man, like I wasn't expecting this game. Like, I really wasn't. And, wow, I'm actually just taken back by how well we played.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that, right? We won, I guess.
Right. And, like I say, like, when's the last time you could say that? It was 2 weeks ago when we played the other LA team was the last time we went at home. But it feels like it's been forever. Feels like it's been forever. And, yeah, this felt like this was a game. We kind of talked about it, like, on Wednesday during Lombardi's Bar I'm like, this game is either going to get, like, super out of hand right away, or it's going to be an absolute, like, dogfight, and it's going to get completely ugly. And we were a couple of Keenan Allen dropped passes away from it getting ugly out there.
Thank you.
I hate to rain on the parade. I hate to bring anything down, but like, yeah, that needs to be noted when we look at this game. It ends up 23-20, but it easily could have been 28-23 or 31-23. Like, that easily could have been the score. And not even Keenan Allen. On that last play, on that last drive, Quentin Johnson absolutely toasts Carrington Valentine and pulls a Christian Watson from last year and just muffs a gift of a touchdown. I mean, that is like the Packers. I mean, is it too much to say the Packers didn't deserve to win this game?
Honestly, like that, I saw that play, and it's like the one time you want Joe Barry to play 15, 20 yards off, to have his safeties deep. He doesn't. Like, this dude cannot get his stuff right. And I'm sorry, you know what? Like, I want to put this out there too. Like, end of the day, I completely agree with you. It was definitely one of those games that we didn't deserve to win. It's one of the ones that I think people have been saying that we're going to steal one. We definitely stole one that game. We had a lot of injuries. They did too. But, man, like, the number of times that Keenan Allen dropped the ball, which I know he's like by third in the league who drops, but I mean, the guy also is like probably top 5 when it comes to just as a receiver in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I feel like Mother Nature and the sun was definitely in our favor by blinding him a few times. But those drops, man, like, I don't think it can be understated that those drops were, and also the fumble. There's a lot of things that they had, that mistakes that they made that came into our favor and help us win. So I don't think we should definitely get off this train of fire of Joe Barry, because the second we got a lead, they just marched down the field. And if it wasn't for that terrible fumble snap, guess what? They probably scored there.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
They did it again, and man, like I'm happy we won. I wanted a victory. I felt like we need one going into Thanksgiving, because Detroit did look beatable today. And they are magical on Thanksgiving, but like we needed that going into this game on Thursday, because, man, with just us losing that close game to Pittsburgh, a game that I feel like we should have easily won, we needed to take one, and this is that one that we took. And so this is the hard stretch of our schedule. This is going to really show our team who they are, and I have to give Matt some credit. The way he calls some plays, he did a pretty good job. I mean, couldn't really get the run game going as well as we wanted to. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Aaron Jones and Wilson as well. But, man, like, all in all, Jordan Love has looked like he's just seems to be just doing what we've been asking, right? All year we've been asking just a little bit better every week, and he's doing that. He's the first 300-yard passer since 2021 for the Green Bay Packers. That's Rodgers time, MVP Rodgers time. So,
I'm pretty sure that is that's the I Still Own You game, if I remember right.
It could be the Ion. Was the Arizona game? It's one
That
of the
was
two. No. I think it's Chicago Bears game. You might be right.
yeah. Yeah, it was against the Chicago Bears. I'm pretty sure that was the I Still Own You game.
Oh
Um
man.
which like that'll like it's kind of funny to say like oh it's only been 2 years since it happened, but
hmm
like to think that last year this offense, this team couldn't muster a 300-yard game
Exactly.
with Aaron
Exactly.
Rodgers
With Aaron Rodgers. Thank you.
is is kind of telling. Like I don't know if it. I don't think you can really. It doesn't. I don't think there's a narrative behind it, but it is kind of something to just remember. Of like, hey, like this offense is struggling this year, but we saw them struggle immensely last year
Yep.
too, with with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. This is a team and an offense that is still growing, is still trying to find out what its identity is. I mean, I think look at the idea, and I'd love to see the snap count. The idea that they're running out Josh Nijman and Rasheed Walker, rotating them out as if it's like a hockey line change.
Yeah.
It's
No.
like
No. I
I really want to hear. I didn't see anything about it pregame about why, and I'd like to hear what Matt has to say about that. I don't get
I
that.
don't. Me neither.
I don't really understand what the point of that is. Is it just a get both guys reps? Is it a situational thing? Is like I don't understand why you would do that, especially in an offense that is trying their hardest with everybody else around them to find cohesion,
Yeah.
to find some sort of symmetry and get things moving, and you're going to rotate out two of the most important positions on the offensive line. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. I really like to hear what coach has to say about that.
Hell yeah. Like
Good.
I'm with you on that. Like again, like we've seen now 11 weeks of Rasheed Walker, right? We've seen him in and out of games, and we know Yash is the better player. It is just what it is. And I think like for the love of God, two people that need to be starting are Yash and Ryan. I don't know what is going on, but Runyon is becoming literally Royce Newman 2.0. He looks lost out there. He looks bad. He did not look this bad in 2020. Was it 2020? Yeah, he was drafted in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was a rookie, and he came in and he played extremely well. I don't know if that had a lot to do with more continuity when it came to the center position, and so he had a little bit more of like understanding what he needed to do because I think at that time we had Corey, right? And so since then, like I'm sorry, like you want to see what Walker has. I get it. And I know he's had some ups and downs, but at least you're paying Yash a shit ton of money. You might as well keep him out there because that's protecting Jordan Love's blind side. That's the first thing.
Right.
Having and they always talk about playing the best five. He's going to play the best five on the offensive line, and
Mm-hmm.
either A, he doesn't know the best five, or B, we've all talked about this. When it's come down to it, they do not know how to make adjustments. Like they do not know how to take poor performing players and just take them out of the lineup. I don't know if that's a thing coming down from Goody. Hey, you need to play this guy. You need to see what he can do. I need to be to evaluate him. Or if it's just LaFleur's inability to say, hey, guess what? You're done. But he's
Yeah.
benched guys mid-game, right? He's done
Yeah.
that. So I'm thinking like, dude, like when I saw that missed tackle by Jonathan Ford, I'm like, I'm sorry, dog, you're done. I was like, Anthony Johnson Jr.'s in there. You are done for that. I'd rather go with a rookie who I can see what because you're already showing me what you can do, and that's not what I want to see, right?
Yeah.
And then I think I heard that Josiah DeGora was the emergency RB2. Like,
I
what the
I
F,
think that was
bro?
getting floated around. I don't know if that was officially a something that came from the Packers
Yeah.
or what. I think that's more of a Josiah DeGuara has kind of his only his only usable function at this point has been as a fullback. And so if you're going to run somebody, Josiah DeGuara seems like the most natural running back type person. I think the Packers understand though that the run game for them comes from a lot of different places and a lot of different ways that aren't out of those traditional sets, the jet sweeps, the end around motions. I mean, that's where they found a lot of success. So they've been finding a lot of success with this year. A point to the running backs, though. So Aaron Jones obviously had the injury itself, there wasn't anything that looked like it wasn't. I don't want to throw this around. Like it wasn't a Nick Chubb type injury where everyone immediately goes, "Oh my God!" Like that, you're turning away from the screen. But it was very clear immediately when he went down.
Yep.
He was in tremendous pain. And once the trainers got out there, it was very clear. I think he realized, and the training staff and everybody realized, this is a serious injury.
Shit.
This does not look good. Aaron Jones coming off the sideline like that was hard to watch. Because sometimes like these guys, they know their bodies.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think he realized this is probably it for this year. And if it's it for this year, I don't think it's a stretch to say that might have been the last game we see him play for the Packers.
That's gonna suck.
That's really sucks.
That's gonna.
I mean that sucks from a pure like Packer fan standpoint of I want this team to be the best it can be.
Right.
And it sucks because I love Aaron Jones. Yeah. And he has just been a preeminent example of what it means to be a Green Bay Packer, carry the G, all of that. And it would be a real stain on this season, an already kind of wasted season, to see his career end like this.
Not like that. Like, what is it? Like in Matrix when everyone's
that's exactly
not like this. Not like
this.
Not like this. I'm just hoping that it's a knee sprain. He was just in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
He's had those. He's had MCL injuries in the past, right? And I'm hoping to God that's exactly what it is. Because
I mean, regardless, he's not playing Thursday. He's not playing on Thanksgiving. I would be shocked if he plays.
If he does, that would be surprising. And you know what, Jordan? It's gonna suck. So you need a guy like him. I understand that he wasn't very productive in the game, right? But at the end of the day, like he still is he's a weapon that you can't really, you can have an answer for, but you can't have an answer for, right? It's one of those things where he helps offense move. And now Dylan has been stepping up, and I like to see who they might bring in as a running back. I know they have the kid that got on the practice squad, so they might have to call him up now.
Ellis Merriweather, rookie out of UMass
Georgia
Amherst.
State? No,
UMass Amherst, yeah.
UMass, okay. I was going to say because Emmanuel Wilson, he dislocated his shoulder when the guy pulled on it, which is like.
Is that what officially? I did not see what officially was. That someone dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, supposedly, he dislocated his shoulder. They try to put it back in. They cut it. They carted him off.
Okay,
and so he's probably done too.
I would say he's probably going to miss this week, but I think he could make it back. And so that brings up the question. I'm wondering, you had 2 weeks of James Robinson on the practice squad.
Right.
I'm wondering if they give him a call.
Or they bring back, what's his name? They bring back Patrick Taylor. He's on the practice squad for the Patriots.
That's true.
They could always bring him back, right? So
that's, you know what? Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the route that they end up going. I mean, I don't know what the exact rules are that if I know you can sign anybody off of a practice squad. I don't know. Is there anything different money-wise between getting a guy off the street versus someone that's on a practice squad? I don't know about that, but I don't think it matters too much.
Sorry. I think I'm going back and forth.
No. Yeah, I don't think it matters that much to them. I think if they wanted to get Patrick Taylor, they'll get Patrick Taylor to come in and fill in. Exactly. But I don't know, the sicko in me says like I really wanted to see what James Robinson could do.
Seriously, yeah, like he had an amazing rookie year. Then he tore his Achilles, and then he came back, and hell, I think the Patriots signed him for $8 million. They cut him. Giants had him, cut him. We had him, cut him. So there must not be any juice there, I guess. I don't know, man. Undrafted free agent to be like almost a rookie of the year candidate, and then since then his career just kind of took a tailspin. So like I said, there's a lot. They always say there's a dime a dozen running backs out there, right?
Yeah.
And I don't always agree with that, but there are a lot of guys out there. There was a kid that we brought in for tryouts. That was the kid I was talking about from Georgia State, who was nasty. I cannot think of his name to save my life. And he looked really good, and they didn't bring him in. They didn't sign him. That's somebody I would bring in, like some kid that, like a Jameel McLaughlin kind of guy who, just needs a shot. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be. I mean, if anything, he'll be spelling Dylan, right? But you never. I don't know. You just need some guy with a little speed back there that knows how to move, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Especially with a quick turnaround like this, you have to go play on Thursday, Thanksgiving. I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick Taylor is the call that they make. Just because he's someone that knows the offense, and who knows, maybe the shoulder thing with Emmanuel Wilson isn't as bad. Maybe he's able to go. Maybe he makes a push, and him being an undrafted kid that is trying, was fighting to make the 53 man at the beginning of the season. Maybe he wants to push and get out there. Before he maybe normally would have. But I mean, overall, it sucks to lose Aaron Jones like that. But you mentioned the A.J. Dillon thing. He has been playing much, much better.
100%.
The last 4 or 5 weeks, pretty much since like the bye week. I think the offensive line is helping out a little bit more, and I also think today this Chargers team is more susceptible to like a power run like against A.J. Dillon. But really,
them losing Bosa helped us a lot too.
That was huge too. Yeah, we can't really disregard that. But yeah, I thought that he did a great job to step up, and I think kudos to Matt LaFleur as well, because you mentioned the play calling. How many times have we seen one running back go down, let alone two running backs go down, and it throws off everything?
My man's going out there 5 wide with the isolation routes. I'm like, McCarthy never left, and I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Like, I'm like, when I see 5 wide, I lose my mind. I have to admit, Jordan has been making some real good play with it, and you're right. Like the play calling, he does. I always try to keep it PG, but sometimes I can't help myself, right? But like LaFleur does nut up a lot. He nuts up, right? He nuts up when some shit goes down. And he definitely treats it like Madden, I feel like. We're like, oh, I'll plug this guy in, but I'm not as confident as him, even though I'm going to plug him in. So I'm going to have to redo everything now. And I'm going to have to get away from what kind of got me to where I want to go. Yeah. But, like, there was plays by Musgrave. There was plays by Kraft, who almost had his first touchdown, right? Yeah. And I'm sorry, like, Josiah DeGara getting hurt. I don't want anyone to get hurt. This is one of those things, like, when Myers got hurt, right? I don't want anyone to get hurt. But it's finally going to give these younger guys opportunities to come in, step in, and show what they can do. I want to see more Sims. Someone just said on the chat where they were saying we're going to go heavy tight end. I'm down with that. Like, honestly, let's get back to a little bit of not get back, but let's do some smash mouth football. I mean, that's what this offense was supposed to be kind of like. Very not smash mouth, but very focused on the run. And we have if we can get to that, because a game like Detroit, I'm sorry, like that Detroit game. I just saw them have they had a hard time handling Justin Fields. And honestly, if Fields had any different offensive line, they could have probably won that game. And that was in Detroit. Like, what I'm saying? They were up 2 scores on Detroit. And I don't want to start, like, believing in my team. I try to do the reverse jinx shit where I'm believing my team. And then when they win, I'm like, yay, right? In the back of my head, I'm always like, yeah, right? But, like, I definitely want to – I'm hoping that we can take some advantages of the fact that they're, seeing the Detroit like kind of struggle there and have to take it to like literally the last 30 seconds to beat Chicago. Yeah, I definitely want to see if we can kind of capitalize on that.
Yeah, I think the thing with the tight end stuff is this offense needs to have tight ends in the game that can do multiple things. You need them to be blockers. You need
Hell
them to
yeah.
be fast. You need them to be pass catchers. Get yak. They need to be able to do all of that. And that was kind of the knock on both of these guys is Musgrave and Kraft. What is this?
I'm sorry because you're so right. Like you need blocking tight ends, and that's the two tight ends they don't get. Like it's like Goody and like LaFleur are like parents that are like separated, but they're living in the same fucking house. You know, they're like, we're sleep in separate rooms, but we have to make sure we co-parent because we have kids, which is the team, right? And maybe LaFleur had some input in that 2020 draft, right?
Yeah.
I want Dylan, I want Love, I want
Right.
Degura, and ever since then, Degura's like, fuck all that. I'm not listening to you ever again because those guys, minus Jordan and maybe Dylan's coming on, but Degura was garbage. You may watch his damn freaking tackle for an interception that he tackled the dude. Great, what the hell? He's not a tight end. Like, fucking mime out here. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm bringing back old shit. I'm sorry, but I'm with you. When you said that, it was funny. Like they got two tight ends that can't block, but that's what this offense is predicated on. It's like,
but
what the fuck?
Today we have seen Musgrave take a big leap forward.
Yep.
In his run blocking.
Yep.
From what it was at the beginning of the season, he has taken a huge jump forward.
Oh,
he had a key block on that Jaden Reed end around touchdown run.
Oh yeah, that was nasty.
It's starting to come across, like it's starting to click, and there's still times where it's off key, and you can see that guys are not where they're supposed to be. We saw that I think a little bit in the fourth quarter on that intentional grounding where Jordan was clearly upset. I think he was expecting Wicks to be somewhere and he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you can tell that this offense is starting to get each other.
Yes.
Jordan is starting to get into a rhythm with some of these guys. These guys are starting to figure out what it all means, and they're putting the pieces together. And you can really see like the steps getting made. And it's only a matter of time before this offense takes off. And Musgrave is a huge part of that.
Can we talk about Musgrave? I'm not gonna lie. He needs to be probably 1B to Jaden Reed's 1A.
Yeah, I would agree.
If we lose Jones for any extended period of time, Reed needs to become the focal point because you put the ball in that guy's hands. That kid is electric. I mean, he can do everything.
And it doesn't matter where.
Doesn't matter where.
Running past whatever. Yeah.
Everything you need him. You can line him in the backfield, and he could probably still figure some shit out, right? I want to give Watson some credit. He caught a touchdown. He actually caught some balls. He kind of did good. I'm okay with that. Romeo Dobbs, same thing. I just really want us to. I just want to see us kind of trust Musgrave and Reed because, geez and Pete's, man, these kids can play. They're really good, and they're developing, and you're seeing it week in and week out. They're starting to get it right. They're starting to click. Even though I was praising, LaFleur's like play calling, did it feel like again like I'm just seeing the same plays over again?
Yeah.
But maybe he's doing that on purpose, right? Maybe he's like, well, I know they can do these plays right, and maybe we're gonna catch the team off guard. But that. I don't know, maybe you just can't introduce new stuff right now because the team's so young. Maybe
what I go back to is like everyone kind of says like, well, why would you run that again? Like they know,
right?
Like the example I saw was they tried to run that touchdown pass, the double fake screen, and touchdown to Musgrave up the middle again. They tried to run it, and the Chargers read it perfectly.
Yep.
To me, that's a sort of play that you run to say, how are they reacting to things?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, now we understand how they're playing this and we move forward with it. And that's the thing is like I don't think a lot of people fully kind of grasp it. It takes me. I have to kind of like check myself as like not every play is designed to be a touchdown.
Right.
And not every play is designed to get you 5-10 yards every single time. Some
100%.
plays are to set up things down the line. Some things are designed to scope out how the defense is reacting to things and playing you, and then you can move forward from there. And that's what that sort of play is. And I think overall, I thought Matt called a fantastic game. Like I said, when you have those two running backs go down like that, it kills you. And to have a offense like this that is predicated on running the ball first,
Yep.
has an offensive line that's getting rotated in and out, and has lost two of their running backs, to still end up with 102 yards rushing. I know a large portion of that was Jaden Reed and that long touchdown run.
Mm-hmm.
But to rush for 102 yards, and then to still win the game with Jordan Love throwing the ball around 40 times. He threw the ball 40 times last week.
Yep.
And when we saw it kind of go the other way.
Exactly.
This was a game by Jordan Love and this offense where they made it click. They made it work. And I think if a couple of things had gone differently last week, they win that game too. It was a similar game. I will say though, we go back to this defense again.
Mm-hmm.
I felt really good about this team last week in a close loss.
Yeah.
I didn't feel as good about this win this week in an actual win.
No, I couldn't agree with you more on that. Like I'm happy they won. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy. I'm not trying to be a poo-poo king, right? But like watching some of these guys just running wide open, and if they just had better hands, they're catching the ball. I'm sorry, we're not talking about a win right now. It's like, like I could just see LaFleur going on that podium right now and be like, our defense stepped up, blah blah blah, this and that, whatever. And I'm just like, bro, like you could say that to all of us. And clearly he's been like just frustrated as shit because he's been like saying stuff that you normally don't say in those pressers. Where I've never seen coaches like go out of their way just to blame the players so much on like shit that's going down. And it's like, dude, like it gets to a point where like your players are start getting pissed. And they go back, dude, like what the hell? But I'm with you. Like at the end of the day, like, do I feel good about the victory? Yes. Do I feel like we got hella lucky? Yes. But we've been unlucky this year. Last week, we didn't get the lateral call that should have been our, should have been on the good turn game, right? Every week we've been having things that have been going down. We're like, are we just like snake bitten this year? And maybe our luck's finally starting to turn around. And if that's the case, hey, sign me up, bro. I'm the guy that's going to say we're going to run the table and we're going to go into some playoffs and we're going to make some noise. Let's fucking do it. And you know what happens? Joe Brady's going to come back and I'm going to go jump off a fucking ledge. But I'm just going to say I kind of want us to just keep winning games, building success, and just proving the naysayers wrong, especially for Love. Because, like, I mean, the reason why you saw me kind of looking off screen, because I'm, like, trying to figure out – I'll try to look for the stats. And just to see this, like, I mean, the dude was 322 yards on 27 of 40, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he gave 3 sacks, and I guarantee, like, I'm going to have to go back and watch this game through and through. I know some of those sacks were maybe one was probably on him. You can tell me it's better than
one was for sure on him.
Yeah,
where he needs to that clock needs
just
to go
get
off.
it out. Yeah.
There was one I can remember where Yash Nyman got absolutely dog walked.
Oh fuck! Okay.
By Khalil Mack.
Okay. Well, Mac does that. So as old as he is, he still be doing stuff like that. So there you go. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think overall, like the offense, we saw flashes from this offense again. The defense is still kind of the defense. The thing that drove me crazy, you mentioned wide open guys. I mean, the idea that you are playing prevent defense, the team has no time outs. They have to go the length of the field, basically, 80 yards. And you're rushing 4 guys. They barely blitz. They barely blitz all day long. And you still have guys wide open. At a certain point, that's no longer scheme,
No.
and that is players.
Yeah, no.
Players need to do that. And I understand what the situation is with the cornerback group.
Yeah.
No Jair today. Carrington Valentine was basically your number one
Yep.
cornerback in this
Right.
game. I understand all of that.
Right.
But if you're not going to blitz, the guys on the back end need to make the plays.
Yes. They have to freaking stay in their zones. They need to
Uh,
literally just do their jobs to the best of their ability. And I'm sorry, you're rushing 4. You literally have 7 people in zone coverage or man or whatever you're playing, and it's just like it gets to a point to 2 things. I agree that the players need to play, but if whatever the hell you're calling is not working because the middle of the field is wide fucking open. What's Sanjay
yeah.
say? I missed
So
that shit.
Sanjay, from the network over on the Freezer podcast talks about
Oh,
not
okay.
blitzing without keep play, and that's totally fine. Like
Yeah,
I
but they don't blitz when.
totally.
But they didn't blitz when they had Ja. And the sad thing was, there's a stat that's out there that we're the worst 5 and more blitzing team in the league, meaning
Sure.
that
And
Joe Brady don't know how to fucking blitz because he can't scheme for shit.
I look, I don't confess to understand the ins and outs of defense.
He's right
Defense.
though. I see what he's saying though. Yeah, I see what he's saying though.
If the game plan is to rush only 4 guys, there needs to be something more on the back end. And Sanjay again, literally, I understand it. I understand it's practice squad. It's Rudy Ford. It's Owens. It's Carrington Valentine. It's Corey Valentine. Like I totally understand all of that. But this is the NFL. It's next man up.
What's our
And
boy say? What's our
and what
boy say? Starter in waiting. These guys are starters in waiting. Like
what
you can't say shit like that and then play scared. Like Joe Barry can't literally come out of his mouth and be like, "Oh,
the
well, you're starter in
right
waiting," and then
and
play soft. Like fuck that.
the play that sticks out to me. You can go back to take away the Keenan Allen drops. Okay,
Yeah.
those are the first one. You could that was close. The second one, that's a walk-in touchdown. I understand. These guys, they're not the top echelon. But on the last drive of the game, where you are trying to kill the clock, and there's no timeouts left, and they're driving the full length of the field, basically, you cannot, as a cornerback, let that guy. That is Kevin King in the 2020
Yeah.
NFC Championship game
Scotty
level
Miller.
bad.
Scotty
Scotty Miller, Bowling Green alum, talons up. You
I
can't
can't believe
let
you just said that.
you
That
can't let that happen. If you're in the NFL, that is inexcusable. And that one was this was even more inexcusable because the
Yeah.
other one is in the middle of the game when
Yeah.
things are still up in the air and you're not really sure how they're going to play at the end of the half. This
Right.
was we need a touchdown to win. We can't give up a touchdown. It's the only thing we can't do.
Yeah.
And he got dog walked. He got left in the dust. And
That was so
that's
bad, dude.
inexcusable. And that's the
Yeah.
kind of stuff where again I understand it's what the players are, but this is the NFL. And if you cannot do that, we'll find somebody else.
I just
Like you said, that's what you're expected to do.
yeah.
Step up.
They have. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you get these guys that are like, I understand they're second, third, fourth, fifth string guys. Like, I get all that. Like, I'm not denying the talent drops off from Jair, right, and from Rasul for that matter. But you've been practicing all week. You've been preparing, and you normally play a typically soft defense where you're playing off coverage for a lot of times with this protective shell on your defense. And then you give up some. When I saw that dude, I'm like, thank God that was Quentin Johnson and he's a rookie and he has stones for hands because, oh my gosh, if that was Mike Williams, that's being housed.
If that's Keenan
That's
Allen, house.
or Guyton.
Eckler.
We got Eckler, Guyton, the guy that was inactive today.
Yeah.
Jalen Guyton being out today saved our ass because that kid would have literally blown the top off this defense.
Yeah.
He'd been running by everybody.
Yeah.
Him and Josh Palmer being out saved our ass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, We got lucky. I know we got lucky, and I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. I just
And
don't want people to parade that
I
Joe
mean, I
Barry is
think
some like fucking like genius on defense when he's really just got lucky as shit again.
right. And I think all of these things can be true with the
Yeah,
defense. The
right.
defense with the guys that they had and
Mm-hmm.
injuries. You didn't have Jair. You lost Campbell in the middle of the game, so you have Isaiah McDuffie coming back out there. They did enough
Mm-hmm.
with what they got a crucial turnover in the red zone that really could, you could say that turnover saved the game. Is it fully on them? Is it on Austin Eckler not wearing the right cleats? It's still a turnover.
He
It's
looks
you still
slow,
have to
bro.
you
He
still
looks
have to
slow, man.
you
He
did.
looks so slow, dude.
You
I don't
still
know
got to
what's
make the
going on
play,
with
and
this.
they made the play. They got tons of
Right.
pressure on Justin Herbert.
Yep.
Did they defend the scramble as well and contain? No.
The second he ran that one time, what are we
At
doing,
that
bro? Like, don't you put a spy? Like,
and
what
I
the
mean,
fuck? And then
he's
you rush out, like you literally give him, he's like freaking Moses since parting of the Red Sea, the middle of the field.
yeah.
It's like daylight, and I'm like, Joe, man, like
The
seriously,
the thing that I
what is that?
right, the thing that I don't get, the guys up front with the four pressure, they were getting pressure. So I
Right?
understand not blitzing, and I get back to that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you like again on the back end, they have to make the plays. And as the defensive front, if you don't trust you have somebody in the secondary, in the linebacker core that can spy or do anything to cover that, then you have to tell these guys on the front, maintain, contain,
Yes.
get the pressure.
Yes.
But there was plenty of times where I saw Slayton and Watt getting pushed off to the side and opens that up for Justin to go run and make these big plays. Sometimes it's not all about getting that sack or getting in there. Contain it, and let those guys on the back end make the play.
They lose contain
And
like, bro. They lose contain like I lose
yeah,
the remote downstairs on my TV, man. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. Like that has been a common theme since Joe Barry's been there. Because Pettin I don't feel like Pettin had that issue, but man, like minus the billion other things that Joe Barry can't do right. Like it's just like these third and longs where
to be fair, Pettin did get the prime years of the Smith brothers
he did.
together, which definitely helps with
Yeah, that's
with
true, too.
contain and everything
Yeah.
like that.
That's
But
very
you're
true.
but no, you're right. Like it, but again, as much as I say about that, we saw guys step up. Rashawn Gary has a sack. Carl Brooks comes through, has a sack.
Yeah.
Kenny Clark ices the game with a pass knockdown at the line. They did what they had to do. They did just enough to get the win.
Yeah.
Did they get a lot of help on the back end? Yes. With a lot of missed opportunities from the Chargers.
Exactly. Yep.
Both things can be, and we can compliment the things that went well, and also say we need to see more out of some of these other guys.
Right.
It all can be true at the same time. Let's start wrapping this up, Amar.
Yeah. You good?
We look at this week, Thanksgiving against the Lions.
Against the Lions. Here we go. Ruined my fucking Thanksgiving, dog.
Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Ruined my absolute
You're in
Thanksgiving.
Detroit, bro.
And I'm in Detroit. We were taught, like, my wife was talking to my in-laws, and they were like talking about like, are you gonna go down for because they always do there's a big parade, kind of like the secondary Macy's parade downtown Detroit. We've been a couple times. It's really fun. And you're like, oh, are you gonna go down? And my father-in-law was like, well, when did the Packers play? And like, they're playing in Detroit. He's like, don't you dare go down there. It's gonna be a madhouse down in downtown Detroit on Thanksgiving.
These Bama's 8-2 right now. They are.
Oh,
you can't tell Detroit nothing right now. Detroit fans are living the life. They're living the life that we've been living for 30 years. And I'm just like, man, I can't even be mad at you, but it's still infuriating. Like when I was watching the Bears and the Lions play, I was like, I want a tie. Like I really want that. It's not gonna happen. I really wanted a tie. So I hate both of you, and I don't want either one of you to win.
Yeah.
But I was like, if anyone's gonna win, let it be Detroit because I really can't. I hate the Bears that much more.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But I don't know. Do you temper expectations going into this, knowing that we're probably not going to see Aaron Jones?
You know what?
Does that sort of like make it easy, like more palatable when you think about it? It's like we're going in, we had nothing to lose, kind of, you know?
It's still, I think it's still the same thing. I still think it's a very much like you're playing with house money right now.
Yeah,
You're 4-6, right? We're 4-6, just like we were in 2016, and it's one of those things where you can go in there and everyone's going to have them beating you by 2 touchdowns. It's probably going to be like it's 10-point spread or something crazy. Okay.
yeah,
And our offense line has gotten a little bit better. We're going to need to figure out a way to contain Aiden Hutchinson and all the other no name bitches on the freaking defensive line. But the truth is like, I'm going to go in with just like, all right, you know what? This is going to make me to drink a lot before my turkey, or make me drink a lot after my turkey because it matters how lit I am, right? And because of what's going to happen. But the fact, yeah, you're right. I just think that we can go into this game hoping that Love just keeps doing what he's doing because if we're
yeah.
seeing these other quarterbacks, I mean, Justin Herbert they went off on Detroit. Justin Fields just went off on Detroit, and Love is
It's
starting.
starting to show cracks. Detroit
Bro,
is starting to show cracks.
yeah, they are, and I don't. Their defense has always been suspect.
Yeah.
But because the offense has been so good. And look, the offense, Jared Goff had like 2-3 picks, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that was against Detroit's defense, which is not that much worse than us, but they're pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
And like I want to go in there thinking like, all right, you know what? Like it's one of
Hope for
those
the
games that
best,
no one's gonna
expect
believe
the
it.
worst.
There you go. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna watch the team. We're gonna wear our Green
Right.
Bay bullshit because that's what we do. I saw someone yesterday at tree lighting. He goes, rough season, huh? And I was like, yeah, still, it's a roller coaster of emotions. I was like, but I'm still out here dressed like a clown because I got a Green Bay Packers sweatshirt and a beanie on because I don't know no better because that's what I do. I was like, I didn't know who his team was, and he had no damn color apparel on. That's all good though. That's all good. But hey, man,
you still fucking rep the colors, man. It doesn't
always,
matter
dude.
if it's an 0
Always.
17 season. You still rep the goddamn colors. Damn
365,
right.
baby. My
Damn
wife's like,
right.
do you not wear anything else? I'm like, why should I? What's the point?
Right. I'm appreciate you stopping by, man.
Always,
Love
baby.
doing this with you, dude. Everyone that jumped into the comments, appreciate everyone that followed along with us. If you have not done so, if you're new to the show, new to the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. Make sure you get notified every time we go live on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. We'll be back here. I assume we'll probably do something after Thanksgiving. We'll have to see what this looks like after Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
A
you're
little bit
right.
weird.
So we can, yeah. Let me know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
We'll probably do something, but
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
We'll do a quick show. We'll do a quick show after the game. We'll do a quick like 20-minute show.
Yeah,
That way we
quick
don't
show.
get away from the families too long, and we get knocked
Exactly.
out real quick, and we give the
Bang.
crowds what they want, right? People might want to
Yep.
still talk about it, right? So
We'll either bitch for 15 minutes or we will laugh at the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Give some people some humor before they go hit their dinners. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. You can follow myself and Amar, our little bubbles right there on social media. We'll talk to you Thursday. Until then, everybody, go Pack, go.
Go Pack. Enjoy the victory.